Hey guys, welcome back to Mindset Managed, where we go through everything from holistic health to personal growth in order to help you to reshape your mindset. Today I wanted to talk about my journaling workbook that I released this week. It's called the Life Gunk Journaling Workbook. I've already done this video, but I cut off my head through the whole video, so I'm quite annoyed, but I'm going to reshape my mindset and realise, you know what, it's not that big a deal. I'll just do it again and I'll probably do it better this time, right? So, okay, this workbook is all for those people who would like to understand their emotions better, who would like to work through their thoughts and hopefully handle their thoughts better, and to reshape any limiting beliefs that they have. I created this workbook because I've done a lot of that work myself lately. I've called it deep self-work. I can't say that word self, but yeah, it's all about going through who you are and going deep inside of yourself. I called it the Life Gunk Workbook because I wanted it to be kind of like a friendly way of saying that we're going through all the emotional turmoil, icky stuff, and I visualize a swamp when I'm thinking of this. So I believe that inside our bodies is a whole world, and you can see it however you want, but the emotional stuff, the horrible stuff, the icky sticky stuff is the swamp, right? It's the dark place where you're unsure of exactly where you are, you're unsure of how deep it goes. It's dark, it's scary, there's vines everywhere, you're getting stuck in the water, in the mud. That's what I visualize it as. And through that visualization, I've thought of how I can change that by going through it and therefore, you know, creating a garden instead, planting flowers, de-weeding, you know, bringing in the sunshine. You know, it's kind of like a visualization technique for me, but of course it doesn't have to be that for you. Instead, it's just basically about improving your emotional health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. Of course, this one workbook cannot fix you. It will not fix every single problem that you have, but the first one that I've done, this is the first one, is in the hope that it will help you to think differently and to be aware that there's things to fix, right? Because oftentimes we just don't know what's going on under the surface. We don't know what's going on in our heads, what's causing us to have these emotional reactions, what makes us feel so icky and sticky and touchy and irritated and defeated, you know, why we say no to things even though we want to say yes. Like, sometimes we don't know, and so that's what this workbook is all about, helping you to get to know that. Because here at Mindset Managed, we believe that there's a 3-step process to self-management. First, it's self-awareness, self-knowledge, self-management. That is how you get there, right? You need to be aware first. So this workbook is about you being aware of what's going on under the surface. So I won't take up much of your time, but the first question is, in which moments do I feel sharp emotional reactions, and what might these mean? So it's about getting you to think about times where you've had a trigger and you feel like this burning sensation inside of you, and you either feel like anger or sadness or embarrassment or shame, you know, like what causes you to have sharp emotional reactions. If you can write those down, you can start to see a pattern and hopefully think of something to fix. Another one is what gives me self-worth, because we need to know what makes us feel good, what makes us feel accomplished and happy, right? And if we have this list, one, we can refer back to it when we feel low and we feel like we've been unmotivated, like we haven't achieved anything. We can look back on it, but also we can start to ensure that we ingrain more of these moments into our lives, right? That we do more of these things in order to feel much better about ourselves. Another one that I wrote is, where do you feel stress, overwhelm, mental or emotional fatigue? So what drains you, right? It's a good thing to know. What are your shame triggers? What are your touchy subjects? Where do you feel unapologetic joy and belonging? What does your ideal self look like? There's loads of questions in here, and I've left like a space after each question for you to fill it in. So you can download it, print it off and fill it out. Or you can use your journal yourself and just look at the questions on your phone or on your laptop and then write it in your journal and write out the answers. But what I don't want you to do, and what I didn't allow you to be able to do, is to write on the document. Because if you write on the document, then you have the ability to self-edit. And I don't like that. I don't think that's very good for this kind of technique. You need to be totally honest with yourself and just write freely everything that comes to the surface. And so that's what this helps you to do. And I think that when we handwrite things, we're much more free and in flow as well, rather than just writing whatever we want on our laptops and then deleting it and writing something better, right? So instead, I want it to be imperfect. I want it to be exactly what you're thinking and feeling, so that you can go through it to understand yourself better. That's what this is all about. Understanding your emotions, understanding your thoughts, understanding your beliefs. Because if we can understand them, then we can work on them. If we can work on them, then we know how to manage ourselves, right? And that's what we all want to do here at Mindset Managed. We want to manage our mindset, not because we're imperfect or we're broken or because we need to control the ship always. Of course not at all. But there are things that we can control, and there are things that we should try to control sometimes. And bad things are going to happen, bad thoughts are going to come, bad emotions are going to come, and they're supposed to be there. They're good. We need balance, right? You know, the yin and the yang, right? I think I got them the wrong way around, but anyway, balance is important. But if you can understand yourself, if you can better be aware of what's going on inside of you, then you are in a better position to say, okay, something bad happened, but that's okay. I'm going to reshape the way I think about this and go forwards with clarity, with beauty, with intention, rather than acting out of irrational emotions, or being really upset and quick to anger, lashing out at people, ruining your relationships, ruining what you're doing, or thinking bad thoughts that cause you to be in this horrible, icky state, right? We want you to be as in control as you can, not because you need to be, but because it's nice to be able to understand yourself and reshape things to work in your favour and in everyone else's favour as well, to be better in every situation. So yeah, go on to srcrawford.co.uk to download it. I'll also link it in the description for you to download. Like I say, print it off, fill it out, or just use it as a reference to use in your own journal. Totally up to you. But take care. I hope that you enjoy it. Please give me your feedback so I can keep making them better for you, because I plan to do many more of these for you. And yeah, speak to you next week, guys. Let's grow together. Bye.